Hey everybody, this is EternallyPrussian's Warframe, here today for a weapon showcase. This is going to be the default weapons. This is going to be the Braton, the Leto, and the Skana. You may think that because it has a ranking that means something, I have stripped all mods from it so they act as unranked. The only things I have not stripped mods from are the Warframes themselves that I will be featuring. So all the weapons will be shown basically with defaults. I need this in case there's any really crappy weapons, so I don't want to show them off and suddenly drop dead in the middle of the mission. So, although I should probably have the MK-1 Braton, that's one of the items I absolutely refuse to own in my inventory. The MK-1 is such a terrible weapon, I quite simply refuse to own it. Anything you see as review for the Braton, instantly get it to replace the MK-1. So if you want actual advice versus the MK-1, ditch it, and if you can't, basically what you're getting is a crappier version of the Braton. So take what I say about the Braton and have the crappier version of that. So I'm dressed in my Excalibur outfit. Every single one of my Warframes has a Toho-based outfit. This one is Moko, one of the lunar peoples. So I'm going to start off by showcasing the Braton. This is a basic assault rifle. It's just point and shoot. That's pretty much it. It's basic, but it can really get the job done. It's not an incredible weapon by any means, but it certainly gets the job done when you need a basic assault rifle. If the M16 wasn't such a tragedy, I could probably compare it to that. Decent clip size, a nice fast fire rate on the Mark 1, and it comes with a good amount of ammo to it, so no complaints. Against shields it does good, but you're going to want armor piercing just for the sake of convenience. Even though headshots are nice, armor piercing can do extra damage to Grenier, so I would keep that in mind if I would take this. I recommend it for pretty much anything. It's an all-around versatile weapon, meaning a jack of all trades is a master of none. I can use this against Infested, Corpus, and Grenier, all pretty much with the same lethality, minus, of course, you'd need an actual elemental mod on it to make it fully effective. So with that said, I'm going to knock out a couple more Grenier, and then I'm going to switch to the Leto. The Leto is a semi-automatic pistol. I find it to be actually a little bit better than it's given credit for. It's an underappreciated weapon, though it's not exactly great once you start getting into really high levels. Just the lower ones you can really make a lot of use out of this. After that, there are much better weapons you could be using aside from this. Even still, I think it holds up decently as a pistol by itself. Again, there are much better things to have, but on its own, it's actually a decent weapon. So I don't mind using it in this review, and honestly, I didn't use it a whole lot before, and I think it gets less credit than it deserves. Next I'm going to review, well, actually last, is the Skana. The Skana, I think, is one of the absolute worst weapons ever engineered by the Tenno, despite the fact that it is literally a pillar of their culture. That's what makes that kind of sad. Like any melee weapon that doesn't have shock on it, it's absolute crap against shields. So if you plan on trying to destroy things with a shield, you're not going to have a good time. It does 25 damage, but without armor piercing, it's only 8, and that takes a ton of hits just to knock down even a level 1 Grenier. So your best bet is a charge attack, which only does 75 damage. And to be honest, there is so much out there that's better for any Warframe. Just pick up even the dual Skana, much better because it's multi-target, even if it is kinda crappy. It's still better, and this is only one target at a time. I take an issue with that, and the Cronus honestly is a much bigger improvement on this. If you want to argue stun, that's not valid. Any one-handed weapon is some pretty nice stun. Never mind that the Fragor or the Skindo have even better stun than that. So, the Skana is an all-around mediocre weapon, despite being a pillar of their culture, is absolute crap, and is only good in any situation should you unfortunately have to tag it along for charge attacks. The spin attacks are nothing special, so honestly, you're not losing any sleep over not owning this, and I actually view this as a weapon that I wanted to ditch, and honestly put it in my I don't want to own this category, but because I'm reviewing the basics, I figured the least I could do is, well, have the basics. So with that said, and being knocked around for that a lot, I'm going to give my personal opinion in terms of ranking out of 10 for each and every weapon that I review. The Braton receives a 5 to a 6 out of 10. I like to have a little bit of a fluctuating scale because once you start adding more mods and other such things, its effectiveness can start coming to light. Braton, normally, I would give a 5.5 out of 10 just to make it even. It's a nice weapon that serves a lot of purposes, but because it doesn't specialize in anything, I can't give it any specialty points. The Lato is nice, and it's an excellent pistol. Oh no, you aren't going anywhere. The Lato is an excellent pistol for what it is, and I really have no problem with it. I give that a... well, it's not a great weapon. I'd say maybe a 5 out of 10. It's a decent weapon that just does what it does. It's by no means a failure, but it's not really a success either. The Skana, I give an absolute minimal 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 maybe, because I really don't see a lot of point behind using this. Almost any weapon you can get is better than the Skana. I'm going to say a 1.5 out of 10 total. So, since that's it for me for now, I have a suggestion for anybody who's watching this. If you're subscribed to my channel, or if you're not, you probably should be, but if you're not and you want to see a weapon loadout, you give me a primary, a secondary, and a melee that you think I need to review. Rare weapons will not be counted, and research weapons will not be counted, even though I do own many rare and research weapons. A lot of the rares are actually in the melee category, go figure. I do accept blueprint weapons like the Cronus and the Seer. Those are counted as blueprint weapons because you get them from boss blueprint. I will count those. So if you have a suggestion for me to review, go ahead and send me a PM or even leave a comment. So, until next time, this is Eternally Prussian, signing off.